I'm Joanna Garzilli, award-winning author and life coach. Welcome to the Looking Glass podcast. I wasn't fired and I didn't quit. It was a mutually agreed upon separation. I am no longer at the job, at the W-2 that I've been at for over a year and a half, that as you've taken time to reflect with me, you have seen me go through frustration, resentment, angst, turmoil, being highly triggered, having almost like a panic attack and feeling absolutely nauseated. And then showing up here with you, and in that, the gift has been awareness. And within that awareness, I've known not to take an action when I feel triggered and when my pain body is going absolutely wild. And that is why I have been able to part ways in a positive way. My time at the company that I was at, I've seen people be fired, and I've seen the reaction of leadership where they have been disappointed or frustrated. There's been a lot of tension and heaviness around it. And that, I imagine, would go for any company with any employer-employee situation. I feel that I embodied grace and I was compassionate. And I feel that the leadership of the company reflected that back to me. They were compassionate, they were graceful, they were understanding. There are still some things that I'll admit that I do feel triggered by, that I feel resentment about, that I do see toxicity. And in my conversation with one of those people that I was mentioning in the last episode, that they are aware of it and they admitted it. And I think that's important too, that no one is perfect. There's no perfect relationship, whether it's love or in a work environment, in a friendship. It's just not realistic to have things in that way. But I do believe that when you or that we put ourselves in aligned environments with people who have a similar outlook and very similar core values, that there is much more harmony and opportunity to feel a sense of belonging. And ultimately, that belonging comes from acceptance of self and less judgment of others. And I want to go back to, just to wrap up this conversation around this mutually agreed separation, because that morning I woke up feeling worry. And as I started to break it down, to deconstruct the feeling, because it's not enough really just go like, oh, well, what's my vibration? Or how do I feel in my mind? Oh, I'm worrying. So as I sat quietly and I thought, gosh, actually, I feel stress. I feel this low-grade anxiety. I hate how I feel about my job. I want to walk out of the prison of my mind. I just want to walk out of it. I want to be free. And essentially that's what I manifested. And also that feeling where I thought, gosh, am I being paranoid here? Am I being paranoid? No, I wasn't. Because I learned that leadership team had met like 3 days before and were trying to figure things out. Like, well, what are we going to do? Because for them, it's not going to be enough how I do things. Now, I do want to say something really positive here. One of the people from the leadership team sent me a very, very lovely text saying, it's been amazing working with you, and you've done great things here, and just, it was just very, very positive, and they were thankful. And so I feel that because I didn't just cling on, when I talked before in the past with you about where I'm just like, I'm holding onto the rope for dear life, I can't let go, because I didn't have the courage to let go, and because probably they felt like, oh, well, she hasn't done anything wrong, she's doing good work, but I'm just not a fit there anymore because I don't want to be in the retirement industry per se. I mean, I appreciate it and I've learned so much, but my passion isn't to be in the niche of retirement planning. That wasn't the goal. I went into this particular job because I had a passion for cryptocurrency and blockchain, and it just evolved fully into retirement industry. So I think for them to just be like, oh, well, we're just going to get rid of her. So if they were sort of holding the rope for me and I'm clinging on to the rope, so I had to let go of the rope, because I got to see in my conversation with the leadership that it was like I was a weight for them, because we weren't aligned with each other anymore. There was a good period of time where it was really aligned. It was great. And so this comes back to the point that I wanted to share with you, the awareness that when something has been good and then it changes, and because we all change, we're all going through changes, especially if we are evolving and growing and learning. And then when is that right time to leave something, to make sure that you're not impulsive? And when is it that you should move through something, stick with it? I suppose I stayed like 5-6 months longer than I feel that I was meant to be there. But in that 5 to 6 months, I did really, really great things and brought in fantastic relationships to the company. I helped make really good relationship connections. And I learned some very good things too. And even despite where you've heard me saying, I'm resentful, I'm frustrated, I'm unhappy, I'm minimalized, I'm insignificant, I feel powerless, I'm despondent, I'm exhausted, I feel abused, that it pushed me and shaped me. I wouldn't be doing this podcast now. And I have gone through moments of doubt when I thought, I keep showing up here and reflecting with you, but is this, I'm still in the job. I haven't moved on. If I was coaching someone else, wouldn't I have moved them on already? Wouldn't it be in a different place? But now, where I think it's about sort of 4 to 6 weeks from the period where I started recording this, I feel a massive weight lifted. When I was driving back from the office yesterday, I didn't feel like crying and I didn't feel elated. It was this just, I was processing and I'm still processing it. I'm just sharing it with you while it's fresh and it's raw, because I want to keep it real with you. When I woke up this morning, I felt a little bit of excitement. I did wake up in the middle of the night and my mind was just going. It's just like, just go. It's spinning, thinking about so much. But I am slowly starting to feel optimistic. I'm beginning to feel energized. And I'm no longer in the cage. I'm no longer the elephant with the rope around my ankle. I am free. And I think one of the things that the conversation I had with this person from leadership, they said, Joanna, when you move on from here, I can just see that you're going to do so much better. He said, I'm your biggest fan. You're going to do amazingly. And then I felt a little bit guilty, because I thought the times when I felt really frustrated and resentful towards him. And again, I guess that's like, I have to forgive myself for when I get reactive with things. So I'm in a new chapter now. Will my pain body get activated again? I imagine so. I've still got more work to do on myself. I want to reflect with you that I am proud of how I handle things. I handle things professionally and gracefully. I genuinely, sincerely want them to do well. And the part of me, I will admit, I need to admit this right now, there is a part of me that's like, oh, well, now that I'm gone, they're not going to do as well. They're not going to succeed. That has to be my unevolved ego. That's the part of me that just wants to be needed. Thank you for taking time to listen to me here. And I hope that in my sharing of this, as you have walked through me in pretty much in real time in this journey, in my progression, that it gives you some sort of roadmap if you're trying to figure out certain decisions for yourself where something isn't aligned for you anymore, and that you're ready to spread your wings and fly into something new. And I will continue a little bit more of how, like, the process of stepping over that threshold when we connect next time, so that you can keep momentum going, but at the same time, stay grounded. I'm Joanna Garzilli. Thank you so much for reflecting with me. I'm sending you lots of love, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.